bad, everything going down, I cannot know the good way to expand my business. Then you tell him, because your friend is a lawyer, really. I have a group of business people and we meet every Wednesday morning for breakfast and for sharing some business opportunities. Don't mention about BNI. Don't say anything about BNI. Talking about something very general. You want to expand business, and I have a group of business people, good quality business people that have been with me, and we meet every week for breakfast, for coffee, and we share business. And now, a member in our group want to look for a qualified lawyer like you. A member in our group, in our team, is looking for a qualified, quality, a good lawyer like you. So can you come over next week, then we can give you some business? So inviting them by showing the benefits of referrals aspect. Then he may say, okay, let me consider. Then he said, okay, I will send you some further invitation through email, then you can know about the date, the time, blah, blah, blah. And for some chapters, because you are too young, too new in BNI, only 2 years, less than 2 years, you'll face difficulties like this. But in some chapters, like 4th year, 5th year, 10-year chapters, they say, hey, we're running out of visitors. We are too old now. We invite all the visitors already. Now we don't have any more new visitors to invite. How can we deal with that? But that's not true. Visitors are limitless. There are visitors all the time. And if you know how to find visitors, you want to know how? You should invite those kind of master networkers, some VIP, because they have very good connections. For example, if you know someone working in the Ministry of Defense or someone on the top in the rubber corporation in Cambodia, the top guy, because he has a very good connections with people. So please invite him or please talk to him. Then he can help you find, he can help you bring new visitors. And then applying the technique we call email, call. I think last when you went to Vietnam in December 2012, you missed the session by Philip Berg, right? Philip? Did you attend the training on this?
Yeah.
You was, okay. It's a very good and useful technique. As I mentioned, the chapter meets on Wednesday morning, and on Wednesday afternoon you call your friend, invite them over. That's been the first call. You call on Wednesday on the same day. And the next day, Thursday, you send him an email inviting him to Cambodia Hotel, 6:45 next Wednesday, and you can give him some brief information. Of course, anytime you can give like, okay, I'm part or member of BNI CEO or Millionaire chapters in Cambodia, and we meet every week for business opportunities, sharing and giving. And I'd like to invite you over to network and to have or to get the referrals that one that my member is looking for. You mentioned like that. And on Thursday you send a mail, and on Friday or on Saturday you call him. This is a technique. For this call, you can call in the morning or in the afternoon. But for these two calls, you should call in the morning only. Why? Because when you call him in the morning, if he is not available, you will have a chance to call him again in the afternoon, or you can leave a message in the morning asking him to call you back. When you give a call in the afternoon, there may be less chance for you to catch him. So call the second and third call should be done in the morning. Remember, in the morning. And on the morning of Friday, you call him, hey, yesterday I sent you a mail. Did you receive that? The mail mentioning about the time, the place that we meet next Wednesday for our kind of coffee and breakfast session. Did you receive my mail? If not, I will send again. It's just a technique, checking whether he received the mails. And if he say, yes, I received it, let me consider, let me check my schedule and I will go to see you. And then you tell, okay, no problem, I will call you again when it comes closer, next to when I will call you again next Tuesday. I will call you again early next week. My mail, you receive information about the referral we're looking for in the team. And will you come to the meeting, will you come to the coffee session with us tomorrow alone? Or will you bring someone with you? Ask that kind of questions. Don't ask, will you come to our meeting tomorrow? He may say, no, I'm busy, I cannot come. Instead, you may ask, will you come to our coffee session tomorrow alone, by yourself, or will you bring along some more people so that we can arrange properly, so we can reserve the table in the restaurant or in the cafe, etc. So ask that kind of tactful question. And if you are more careful, you are careful enough, you can send an SMS in the afternoon. You send an SMS through mobile phone to your friend, mentioning about the time, the place. So please come to Cambodia at 6:45 tomorrow morning, Wednesday, September, blah, 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 for a coffee session. Thank you. In the afternoon. So if you apply the techniques, I think more than 80% of success will come to you. When I applied these techniques, I invited 172 visitors for the first 6 months of 2013 to become the member in BNI Vietnam who invite the most number of visitors applying this technique. That's very important. So please, you can apply. Of course, there are many ways you can do to invite the visitors, but this is one of the useful techniques you can apply. And when you invite, remember, don't invite just one person. Invite more. The more people you invite, the more successful your chance will be. If you invite only one, and maybe on that day the person is busy or have something happen to him, suddenly he cannot come to the meeting, then you have no visitors. But if you invite 10 visitors, at least 50%, 60% or 70% of them will come. In my own case, in my own experience, when I invite many people, invite even 10 people to the meeting, and I got a response back like 80%, 7 people come to the meetings by applying this technique. Any questions? Yes.
Okay, my question is that the purpose of inviting visitor in order to let the visitor become a member, right, of the charter?
Many reasons. This is one of the reasons.
Yeah, because there's another challenge. Let's say in the BNI CO charter we have dental clinic already. So if you invite the visitor and he comes, then maybe the member that has this profession may be unhappy.
Okay.
So in this case, it's okay, right?
Okay. Let me tell you the reason. Okay, some explanation behind. As a visitor, you can invite any visitor. Even you can invite visitors who are competitors to the fellow members. But remember, in the chapters, we only give referral to our fellow members. We don't give to visitors. Visitor can give referrals to members, but members should not give referral to visitor. There is nowhere for you to register in the system. Remember, let me repeat. Members give referral to each other, clear. Visitor can give members referral, but member should not give referral to visitors. And when you invite your visitor who is competing against the other fellow members, you can. There are some cases. If his services or he tends to be like he's a negative member, you want to replace him in the chapters, okay, bring the visitors to show him that if he's not qualified, he will be out and his competitor will be in. That's the point number one. Point number two, it's not for that reason, but for another reason. Your friend may need a service from him, from her, from them. So they can be the customer or the fellow members. They don't need to be competing in the meeting, but they can be the customer. And before the meeting, you can tell them, hey, my friend, next week you come to the meeting, please remember, do not talk too much about your business because we have a member who is using the same thing, who is your competitor. He's doing dental treatment and you're also a dentist. If you go there and say, if you have any referral, please come to me. If you have any problem on tooth, come to me. Not so good. So just tell your friend in advance. Tell your friend how to tell, how to talk, how to introduce. Your friend may just stand up and say, ABC from XYZ Dental Treatment Dental Care Clinic. That's it. And don't say anything like, if you have any problem on your tool, please come to me.
50% discount.
No, cannot. So please tell your friend in advance. Otherwise, okay, they're free to do so because when you do the referral education, the moment they listen to you, they will copy you. Okay, he mentioned about medical treatment, I should say the same thing. He mentioned about 50% discount. I said 60% discount. I'm better than him. So pay attention and tell your friend before. You should. Yes.
Just to share the experience inviting visitor. That guy always refused me to attend the meeting. He always finds the reason to do it. He promised me, he said I must go, but in the morning when phone call for follow up, he said, I'm sorry, I cannot make it. So what is your advice on this?
So how is your advice? How is your talk to your friend?
The first thing I talk when I invite him, I say that we are working with a group of people with professional, different profession, and we are having a business match in Cambodia in the Wednesday. And then, are you interested in attend the meeting? For the first thing, what you gotta do is you gotta ask it that you get the benefit from network, and then someone in that profession can use your service or product from that. Are you interested in that? He said, oh, sounds interesting. And then he promised me, okay, I will go.
Okay, I understand your question. Yes. Some people don't feel like going get up early in the morning. They don't want to go to the meeting because of the reason they cannot get up early in the morning. That's what is reason number one. And reason number two, sometimes they are very busy, they don't want to expand more business. Okay, then you can forget it. Because you don't need to chase after them many times. If they refuse for the third time, fourth time, okay, he's not qualified. He cannot be a future member. He cannot be your partner, so forget him. So look for another visitors. And another thing, you can use a technique or tactic of saying, we are looking for a qualified lawyer like you to help with a case in the chapters. So please come if you want to get the business. Because you are my friends, I want to introduce you to my members, to our group. If he said, oh, I'm very busy, I can come next week, all the time, you may say, can you, if you cannot come to meet our group people, if you want to receive such a referrals, can you introduce a good, a qualified lawyer like you?
For me.
Yeah, for me. If you say so, you say, no way, I will go.
You're qualified.
Yeah, I'm qualified. So please apply the technique next time when you talk to the same person. Saying, hey, if you don't come, I may look for, can you find me a suitable, a qualified person, a qualified business, a qualified architect? If you say the professional, if you can find me a qualified architect like you to help to get the referral, get the business from our team, we will say, okay, let me think over and then go. And then the visitor experience. So after you invite the visitors, after they come to the meeting, it's not the end, but it's the visitor experience that make them stay, that make them join the chapters. Remember, the experience they gain from before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting. Before the meeting, when they come into the room, and if they are welcomed by all the visitor hosts, all the visitor hosts, or the host of the home, the family, and if people talk to them nicely, welcome them, guide them into the seating place, and take them for coffee or breakfast, ask them questions, and introduce them to any relevant people. If they feel like welcome, or if they stand alone, no one talk to them. They stand in a corner. So there is another technique I want to share with you. Please stand up. We have we call it if we are talking to each other face to face like this. We call this is a close and open. You know, this is close to. And when we are in the close to position, don't interfere. Don't talk to us because we just pay attention to our conversation. We don't want the outside people to interfere. Remember, when we are in a close to position, or even when there's three of us, please stand up. We call this is, if we look at each other in a close group like this, we are in a close tree. Close tree. So please do not interfere us when we are in like this. But when we are like this, when we stand like this, open tree. This is open tree. We call it open tree. Then you are free to talk to us. You are free to enter, to talk to us, any questions. We are open to you. Remember, closed group and open group. Thank you. Apply this. When you go to any kind of group. So apply this when you go to any kind of networking event, any conference, anywhere. When you see someone in a closed position, don't talk to them. Don't intervene in their conversation. But when they are in the open position, please go in. Please talk to them. Please make friends with them. We have an open door for you. That's true. Yes. Apply that rule. So don't make the visitor feel lonely. Talk to them. Welcome them. Asking them questions. Guide them to the other people. Keep on talking. Don't make them stand alone. Remember. And all the members should be visitor hosts.
Okay.
Yes. And the visitor will be impressed what they will do during the meeting. During the meeting, they may be impressed by the 5 minutes training. Okay, today they come to the meeting where they have very good, excellent trainer who can conduct a very excellent, very useful tools and knowledge. They're impressed. And impressed by the way you dress. You wear name tag, pin, you look very professional, tiny, groomy. And in the way you talk in the referral education moment, oh, they look very professional. They say something very smoothly. They're very professional. They're very credible people. And when you give referrals, to me, and I just sitting here doing something like this or listening to the telephone, I don't show respect to you. And I say, hey, it's not good organization. But when you give me referral, I jump to you. I receive the referral with my respect. I jump to you. So which show that, okay, this is the qualified, this is the very good, friendly, and trustworthy business people. Make them feel impressed. And you give referral, thank you, not value. Wow, last week we achieved $2 million US. So they feel, okay, very much impressive with the achievement, the result of the business group. And testimonial. When you show testimonial, then you give your friend, you give your fellow members some credibility. Okay, I have introduced my friend to Coca-Cola, and they have used his service, and they have mentioned to me that they appreciate highly his services, and they will refer him to his kind of partners in the near future, blah, blah, blah. And you show the testimonials. And after the meeting, you remember before, during, and after. Now, after the meeting, if at that point of time, please give out the application form. Don't give before, but only give the application form in the end of the meeting. And visitor host lead, you take them to another room. If they have many visitors, you need to have more people to help you with. Because if you have only 2 or 3 visitors, then you have 1 person can talk. But if you have 10 visitors, maybe you need 2 or 3 more members to help you. And you guide the visitor through the application form filling, and you answer any question they may ask, and be selective. Don't beg. Don't ask them to come. Please join our chapter. We need you desperately. No, don't say so. Don't beg them. But be selective. If you know they really want to join the chapter, you still say, hey, please fill in the form. We need to review, we need to make sure that you are suitable with the chapters, make sure you can give and you can receive. And you should abide by the rules of the chapters, etc. So be selective. Don't beg. Please, please, please join our chapter. No, never beg. Now, call for actions. I think most of you have a very long list of the acquaintances. As I mentioned, in addition to the connection formula, the number of connection formula, each of you, each of us should have about 150 to 200 connections of contacts before. Each of us for sure. You may have 150 contacts. You may have 150 contacts before. You may have 150 contacts elsewhere. So you have a lot of contacts that you may have not yet thought of.